Hey, Sharon Horne-Ellstrom here. In this episode, I want to talk about series. And I think I mentioned that I like to set things up so that I win. I like to set things up so that I can create content and I can work and I can do what I can with what I've got right now. If you saw my video set up, you would laugh right now because I had to move to a different corner of my office because as the sun has changed, as the seasons change, the lighting in my office changes. And it's probably a better backdrop. My other backdrop was so busy. Some people didn't like it, but it is an indication of who I am, right? I have a busy life, a busy, chaotic schedule, a busy, chaotic existence, and I love that. I love being busy and having a lot of energy and doing a lot of things and participating in a lot of things. So that is just a look into my brain. It's a little busy and convoluted, right? But it works for me. And that's all that matters, is that it works for me. Just like your brain has to work for you. So in order to create some semblance of order out of the chaos, in order to do things like challenges, I like to create some of the days where I can do a series of things, a series of topics. So yesterday I started and launched off a series, the Epiphany Bridge series, because it's such a powerful way of telling stories for live video or for speaking or for writing or for anything. It is such a powerful skill to have. I want to make sure that we break it down step by step, day by day, and that becomes something that the people participating in the 90-day live video influencer challenge can absolutely positively own. I want them to own that storytelling strategy or skill or format. So yesterday I just introduced the idea of the Epiphany Bridge. Learned the Epiphany Bridge story from Russell Brunson, of course, who learned it from Chet Holmes and several other people that they combined forces and actually outlined and mapped out the framework for telling a great story that transforms people. And it's the format that's used in almost every great Hollywood. It is used in every great Hollywood blockbuster, every great movie, every great book, every great story that we remember and tell over and over again tends to follow this format or this framework, because success in anything in life is broken down to a framework. I was going over this yesterday with one of my coaching students on a 4-hour coaching call that was supposed to be like a half an hour, one of those. And we were talking, I said, anything you want in life really boils down to 5 steps. And I like to think everybody knows it, but everybody doesn't. He's like, you need to make a video about that. And so maybe in a day or two, I will make a video about that for my audience, because I thought everybody knew it, but apparently everybody doesn't know it. And even though I know it, I don't always follow it, right? Because I'm human and we get distracted and we don't always do what's in our best interest, in our own best interest. So today we'll be talking about backstory, because there's eight basic steps, or it can be broken down to more, but I'm going to do it in the 8 questions for the Epiphany Bridge to create that script. And we're going to practice each day. We're going to do a piece of it. So yesterday was just, hey, go do a stories inventory. Today will be backstory. Tomorrow will be what do you want, and so on and so on and so on, for each of the steps, each of the questions, or each of the main steps of how to tell a great Epiphany Bridge story. And I like to create and find things like that as I'm doing my business, as I'm doing my life, as I'm creating content, because it makes it easier, at least for a few days, until I get my next idea of what I want to share with my audience. So the Epiphany Bridge story was actually mapped out as part of my 90-day content. I don't remember where it was mapped out in now, but I've moved the whole thing around anyway, every one of the 90 days, and I'll continue to move them around. And even after the fact, I'll probably even move them around next time, because I do think there'll be a next time. I think it's a really, really powerful challenge. And I don't know that it needs to be 90 days. Could it be shortened to 30 days? Yes. But would it be as powerful? Would it really get people the result that they want? I don't think so. I don't think you're going to become an influencer in 30 days if you're starting from scratch. Come on, maybe somebody does, but probably not. It's kind of like the whole overnight success thing. Really, there's no such thing as an overnight success. Unless you win the lottery or something, and is that really a success? That's just luck, right? That's just coincidence and chance. And I don't know about you, but I'm not putting my belief and faith and trust in luck or chance. I'm going to create my own life. I'm going to create my own luck. I'm going to create what it is that I want. So I like to create series of content. So I challenge you to, and I challenge everybody, right? I challenge you to think of as you're creating content or sharing what it is that you do with other people in the world, is there a way to take something bigger and break it down into the framework and share the framework with people? Because if you can teach people the framework and the underlying thinking of how things work, then all they have to do is apply themselves to it and add it to their life. That's part of why I like doing the one thing every day thing and breaking things down to what can I do one small thing every day to get me toward what it is that I want. So for example, I want to be happier, right? Don't we all want to be happier and actually be more grateful and appreciative of all the incredible blessings that are in our lives? I mean, I have led an awesome life. Yeah, if I had challenges, absolutely. But overall, my life has been freaking awesome. So why do I sometimes, like everybody else, not feel very grateful, or I take things for granted? Because I am not being happy. I'm not focusing on, hey, my job here is to feel good every single day. And I don't mean that in the quick feel good sense. I mean it overall. If I want to have a happy life, it means living happy days. If I want to live happy days, it means having happy experiences and happy moments and noticing them and acknowledging them and creating them one moment at a time every day. So that's why I like to do things like I created this series for myself. Do one thing every day that makes you happy. So every day, secretly, to warm up my voice, because, you know, sometimes it's gravel-gurdy in the morning, I started saying, okay, well, how am I going to warm up my voice every morning so that I can do my videos? Because the only way that doing content every day works for me is if I do it first thing in the morning. It has to be, I get up, I get cleaned up, because this is cleaned up, believe it or not. I put on new pajamas, clean pajamas, and I say, okay, let's go. Now, usually no one else is up when I'm up. Okay, no one else is up when I'm up. I'm a morning gal. So I haven't talked to anyone. I might say good morning to the cats and pet them, or the dogs, but that doesn't count as talking to human beings. So in order to set things up for me to succeed, I said, okay, I need to do a quick video every day that's kind of a no-brainer. Well, what can I do that will also benefit me? Well, I want to be happier. So how about if I found this up at the cabin, how about if I do one thing every day that makes me happy, and I just talk about that and share that with other people? So one thing every day that makes me happy. Today was day 141. So every day this year, I have committed as Pajama Grandma to hop on and share one thing every day that makes me happy. Or out of this journal book, one thing every day, an activity or an action. Or yesterday we just drew a picture. We drew a happy face picture of our happy active face. And today it's just happiness in action. So we are thinking about an action that I took today, or an action that brought me happiness today. You know, maybe you make a phone call, whatever it is, but it's something different every day. I don't have to think about it. I'm setting it up so that it's easy for me to get in a good mood, warm up my voice. I always wake up in a good mood. Hey, after you've died, every day above ground's a good day. You're just happy to see the sun. Or, oh, it was a gorgeous sunrise this morning. I had to actually go out and take a video of it. It was so pretty with the pink and purple sky. But I pretty much wake up happy every day. Even when I'm sick, I'm happy to be awake and I'm happy to be sick, right? How many people can say that? So even though I think I'm pretty happy, I also know that I don't appreciate and I'm not as happy as I could be. So why not use that as my way to set up a series? So for 365 days, guess what? I've already got content. I don't have to think about it. I don't have to worry about it. I don't have to fret about it. Now, where did I get this idea? Well, I was up at the cabin a little over a year ago, and I knew that I needed to be making live video. And like everybody else, I was freaking scared to death to make live video. I mean, come on, I'm old. I've got a face for radio, but I don't really have a voice for radio. So I was like, how am I going to get over my fear of doing this? And I found a little book just like this, only black, called Do One Thing Every Day That Scares You. And it was all about activities just like this happiness book to stretch your comfort zone. So all last year and a little beyond into this year, because I had started and stopped that book like 10 times before I got it for a friend of mine and I when we were in a network marketing business. Yes, in a network marketing business that I think she's still in, actually. I left it after my son got in a car accident 5 years ago. So it's been a long time. But I got that book originally for us to get over our fear of doing things that we were asked to do. You know, they still teach network marketing the old-fashioned way, which is ridiculous. And it was very uncomfortable for me. So we got that book and we didn't do it. We did it for a couple of days and stopped, and a day and stopped. And so I committed last year that, okay, I'm going to actually do this whole book once a day. I'm going to use it as my way to get on video and get over my fear of doing video. And that's what I did. So, you know, everybody's like, well, your videos still kind of suck. And I'm like, I'm okay with that, because you know what? This is who I am. And I know it turns people off, some people off, because I ramble too much. I talk too much. I flail. I've got crazy eyes. I've got, you know, guys, I'm blind. So I'm literally blind in my left eye, totally nothing. My right eye can barely see with a magnifying glass. I use an OttLight to do almost everything. I've got a 62-inch screen TV that allows me to do some things on my computer. But for the most part, you do what you can with what you've got right now. And so that's part of why I like to create series of things to make content creation really, really easy. There's so many ideas. I think it's fascinating when people say, I don't have anything to say. I don't know how to create content. I don't know what to share with people. I guess I'm full of it. So I've never had a hard time coming up with content. And maybe it's because I'm old, so I don't have a hard time coming up with content or stories. But I do find, even though I'm full of it and have lots of content, I need to plan and get better at what content do my people really want to hear? Who am I speaking to and what do they want to hear? It's not about me. For the last year or so, it's been about me getting over my fear of speaking, getting over my fear of being on camera, getting over my fear of anything. That's all about me, right? And now it's time to make it all about you. What do you want to hear? What do you want to see? What do you want to know about? What have I got that I can share with you? I'm pretty old. I've learned a lot of stuff. I've screwed up a lot of stuff. If I can save one person from making some of the mistakes I have, holy moly, I want to do that. So, create series of things to help you. Pick your favorite book. If you don't know what to do or where to start, pick a book that you love. Pick your favorite book and just share some of the key things, the major lessons learned out of a book. Because I guarantee there's somebody out there that would love to hear that or see that or listen to a summary of that or an article about that. I'm an avid believer in, I know people love audiobooks, and people with my visual challenges, I should love audiobooks, but I don't love audiobooks. And it's from a person that listened to tapes in my car my whole career, my whole driving to and from work and from corporate America. Every day I listened to, cassette tapes. Back when we had cassette tapes, I started on. Then I switched to CDs and CD-ROMs, and now I guess you just hook your phone or your what were they called, MP3s or something, or your USB or your whatever to the car, and then you can play music or tunes or motivational speeches or whatever, and you can listen to them. Interestingly enough, I am a visual person with no vision, right? How ironic is that? So I learned better by seeing things, which is really, really hard when you have almost no vision to see things and make that the way you learn. So I need to get better at listening to audiobooks, but I don't love audiobooks because I'm not an auditory person. I'm way less auditory. I'm becoming more auditory. The worse my vision gets, the more auditory I have to become, because it's how I get information. I heard there's these glasses now that have like AI technology, and they can read what's on a screen or what's in front of you, or they can read people's faces, which is kind of interesting. I actually have started exploring that. I couldn't find any pricing on it, which is super irritating, by the way. If you got a website, if you've got a product or service that you're selling, don't hide the price from people, because I didn't buy this. I probably would have gotten it this last weekend, but the fact that there was no pricing information when I called the line, there was nobody there to talk to find out how much the thing cost, and I didn't buy it because of that main reason. It's like there's no information, nobody's answering the phone. So if you want to, it's kind of like secretly not telling people you're in a network marketing organization, right, and hiding it. It's that old thought. I mean, don't keep that quiet because you're being deceptive, you're being dishonest, and that immediately causes people to not trust you. So tell people what it is, tell people what it costs. If you're afraid to put what your product or service costs online, why is that? Well, that's because you're not sold on it yourself. You're not convinced that it's such an incredible value, and you're offering so much more to people in terms of value than anybody else or anything else. You're not so sold on it that you will put the price out there. There's a problem, right? You either need to get yourself more sold on your product, you need to add more value to your product and service so you know that you're giving people 10 times the value for what the price you're charging. That's kind of my rule of thumb. If I'm not offering you at least 10 times the value in what I'm sharing with you that I'm charging, then I don't feel good about it, so I won't do it, right? So that's just my personal rule of thumb. Everybody has their own, right? Some people think that they should mark things up 100 times. I don't know. Everybody's different. We all get to decide because we all get to make the rules for ourselves, what works for us. So that's it. Working on a series today. Gonna go talk about backstory on the 90-day challenge. And then my granddaughter's gonna be here and I'm gonna have an awesome day because it was her birthday yesterday and I didn't get to be with her. So grandma withdrawal. Make it an awesome day. If I can help you in any way, shape, or form, share it in the comments below. Feel free to direct message me, Sharon Horne, I don't even know my name, Sharon Horne-Ellstrom or Pajama Grandma, Pajama, and then Grandma, just Gramma. You can find me across the internet, Instagram, Facebook, YouTube. I'm working on a YouTube challenge, so you will start seeing more of me on YouTube. I have not been sharing my assignments to my target audience. So that's a huge mistake I have to fix. I was going to fix it over the weekend, but I got busy doing other things and I did not do it yet. But I am going to do it because my goal is to get 1,000 subscribers. So if I'm not sharing my information, how the heck am I going to get 1,000 subscribers? I'm not. I'm only sharing it in the 90-day challenge. And I'm like, okay, well, that's not going to work because that's only going to the people in the 90-day challenge. I need to actually put my videos out and stop just doing them, my assignment part for the 90-day challenge, and just tweak that and tell everybody, hey, I'm going to now be presenting these to my target audience. So this is where you'll find it. And then just share the link under the assignment. That was a pretty easy way to solve that problem, right? Go out, make it an awesome day. I'll, of course, be with you tomorrow.